What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video, and I got a sweet Patriot deck for you guys today. I got an 80% win rate with this deck. No, that is not clickbait, but yes, I will be fully transparent with you. There are a couple caveats to that, right? So first off, let me just say real quick that this is a featured location right here, the sandbar. Cards with abilities can't be played here, so pretty much a lot of people are playing Patriot. Patriot is really good for this featured location, so just keep in mind, like, this is a very solid Patriot deck, but yes, this location may be skewing the stats a little bit. The second caveat is that I have played 20 games, so I went 16-4 with this deck, and while that isn't a very large sample size, say compared to like 100 games or even more than that, right? It's not a small, like tiny sample size either, right? Like I could say I got an 80% win rate when I won 4 games and lost 1. Well, that doesn't mean too much, right? But 16-4, that is a pretty decent record. So with those couple of caveats out of the way, let's get into the deck here. I'm not going to spend too long breaking down this deck because it is fairly straightforward. It is fairly simple. Of course, this is a Patriots deck, so we have a bunch of no ability cards in here. Wasp, Misty Knight, Shocker, you know, nothing new. Now, the cards I will say that are kind of like flex spots in here are Cosmo, Super-Skrull, Abomination, and Chavez. Cosmo I like because a lot of people are playing Rogue right now because of the featured location, so you could protect your Patriot from a Rogue or a Enchantress as well. I've been seeing a little bit more Enchantress lately. And then we have Super-Skrull. Super-Skrull is really good just in the mirror matchup. If your opponent is also playing Patriot, you basically just copy their Patriot, you copy their Blue Marvel. Sometimes people are playing Onslaught, so Super-Skrull, very good in the mirror matchup. And then Abomination is just a good big body to throw down on the board. And then Chavez, I have Chavez in here because I like the consistency of being able to draw the Patriot more consistently. Now, what if you don't like those cards? Well, you can just throw in the Thing is actually not bad, right? It's just another no ability card. You could throw the Thing in here. You can maybe even throw the Hulk in here. You could throw Doctor Doom in here. You could put an Onslaught instead of Chavez. You can do Mr. Sinister, Brood, Rogue. There's a lot of different things, right? But this is the deck that I have found that works the best for me. Basically just buffing up all our no ability cards, and usually our big finisher is most of the time going to be Ultron, just absolutely swarming the board. Now this deck is in a really good spot in the current meta since we've seen a lot of rise in Electro, Sandman, ramp decks, and this deck doesn't really mind playing 1 card per turn most of the time. Usually once they play their Sandman, they're going to play their Sandman on turn 4. Turn 5, usually just play Blue Marvel or Abomination, and then turn 6, you play Ultron, right? So, I mean, this deck doesn't really mind playing 1 card per turn, and it is a very solid deck right now in the current meta. If you're looking to hit infinite rank, I would definitely recommend playing this deck because it is definitely one of the most consistent decks you can play right now on the ladder. So without further explanation, let's get into the gameplay here. All right, so starting off here, we got the Kiln, and then in my hand, we got Patriot, Wasp, Blue Marvel, and Ultron. Wasp, you usually don't want to play until the last turn of the game. There may be some situations where you play Wasp earlier, depending on locations, right? Maybe there's cloning vats, you just get a free Wasp back, or maybe it's like the Raft and you want to fill it up before your opponent does. But most of the time, you play her on the last turn of the game for a little bit extra points. Here we got Titan, so our Ultron is going to cost 5. I think I'm going to play Shocker on the unrevealed locations. I've been playing on the unrevealed locations a little bit more often because of the featured location right now. It's probably going to be the, what is it called? Sandbar? That's what it's called, right? But it's not the Sandbar, it's the Daily Bugle. We got a Spider-Man. So our opponent is probably playing some form of control lockdown deck if they have a Daredevil, Nightcrawler, Spider-Man. Here we don't have priority. If I had priority, I would maybe consider playing Cosmo, but I might play Might play the Patriot, although it may be worth putting Cosmo down to just protect our Patriot. But he may lock down another location with Professor X, so yeah, let's go ahead and throw Patriot into the kiln. And Storm comes down. Okay, this is actually a little bit scary. We're locking down the kiln, and he has a flooded location, and he might have Professor X as well. I think I'm actually going to Spider-Man in the middle, because he might try and Spider-Man me as well. I'm going to throw my Wasp in the kiln for a little bit of extra power. So let's see what my opponent does here. I gotta admit, this matchup is a little bit scary here. It's a green goblin, okay. Well, that is just fine then. I don't know why he wouldn't play his Spider-Man. I guess he didn't draw Professor X probably. But now he just can't play at all, unless he's running Jeff. If he has Jeff, he can play in any location because Jeff just doesn't care, right? But what we're gonna do is, I mean, we're in a good spot here. I'm gonna snap. We're in a really good spot here. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop down the blue Marvel, and then on the last turn, we are going to want to play our Ultron, and I got this very, very sweet Dan Hip Ultron variant. This is probably one of my favorite Dan Hip variants. Really love this variant. But anyways, let's see what our opponent does here. And it does look like he has Jeff if he's able to play into a flooded location. So he does have Jeff. And honestly, I think we should be able to win here. We just slam down Ultron, and Ultron will fill up basically all the locations. Unless he's playing a Killmonger. But I doubt he runs Killmonger and Nightcrawler in the same deck. So for that reason, I think we are safe to just play the Ultron here. And our opponent does not have an answer for our deck. So our opponent is going to retreat, and that is another dub. Okay, next up we got the Bifrost. For the first location, we got nothing to play on turn 1. Usually, you know, this deck is pretty top heavy, meaning we don't run a lot of low cost cards. For the earlier turns, we just have Misty Knight and Shocker. So it's fine if we end up skipping, you know, turn 1, turn 2. It's usually fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw Shocker onto the unrevealed location here. And our opponent's playing a Psylocke, which usually signals Mr. Negative. Oh, an Onslaught Citadel is just so good for us, especially since we have Super-Skrull. I am absolutely going to snap on that, because we can play our Cosmo, and we can play our Super-Skrull behind that, and it basically just can't get hit by a Rogue or Enchantress, so I'm going to go ahead and snap on that. If they are negative, they could be running Iron Man, Mystique, and he threw down a Wong, and I just threw down a Cosmo. That is, oof, I just feel bad for my opponent at that point. I'm not going to lie. I feel bad. Now, we could even get a little bit spicy and Mystique the Cosmo, but that's probably a little bit silly to do that. So I think we can just go ahead and play Super-Skrull here. Let's see what our opponent is running. Cloak and Iceman. Huh, that was weird. What if it's just like a Galactus deck in disguise or something, right? I'm so like cautious about Galactus these days. I could Mystique the Super-Skrull, but I don't know if I actually want to do that. So I think I'm gonna do. Oh, he can move the Wong over here to get away from the Cosmo. That is a good thing he can do. If I move the Cosmo, it's just gonna be too late. So maybe I just play Abomination here. Oh, wait. Why wouldn't you move the Wong? Okay, is this a bot? I don't know if we're playing a bot or what. Okay, maybe this guy just realized he messed up. But okay. That's Hey, man, you know what I say? We'll take those. We take those, man. All right, next game up, we got the Kiln here. We got a pretty decent hand. Plunder Castle. Hey, these locations might be a little bit tricky for us. Kiln, Plunder Castle. This one might be Sandbar. And it looks like our opponent is also playing Shocker, which means they're also playing Patriot. And it is the Sandbar. So our Super-Skrull is going to be very, very valuable here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Debrii. I think it's fine. Even though, like, it's giving him rocks, I think it's fine. Go ahead and play Debrii. And we got Super-Skrull in hand. So I'm going to snap. We are going to play Super-Skrull here, and it's going to be safe. Unless for some reason he throws down like a random rogue. Our Super-Skrull should be safe in the Kiln. I don't know if I should play Wasp. I might hold on to the Wasp. I think I'm going to hold on to Wasp for now. So let's see what he has for us. A rogue. No way! He did throw down a random rogue. No way! Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Well, all right then. We gotta just. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. Well, luckily we top deck the Abomination so we can throw him into Sandbar. Honestly, we might. Yeah, we just play Abomination in a Sandbar. I guess we might as well throw down Wasp in there too. And then Plunder Castle, we can play Ultron or Chavez. And he also plays Abomination. We might still win this. Because now it's kind of like this cat and mouse game of like who's going to play the Patriot. But he can't play Patriot, actually. He can't play Patriot, actually. And I can't play Patriot, even if I drew the Patriot. So, Ultron is still our best play, actually, into the Plunder Castle. If he plays a Chavez here, or a Hulk here, he will beat us, but we will win the Kiln and the Sandbar. So I think Ultron is our best play, and our opponent retreats. A very random game. I mean, that was a good call on the rogue on his part, but the locations were kind of wacky for us. So good game. All right, next up we got Misty Knight in our hand, and honestly, you don't always have to play Misty Knight on turn one. Looks like our opponent is also playing Patriot. Sometimes I like to wait a little bit just to kind of see, like, you know, what else we're gonna get. We got a Quinjet from the hub. I guess we can go ahead and throw that down, because why not? It's just an extra, basically an extra free 2 points. And let's see what our third location is here. The Sandbar. So, ooh, we got a good hand. We got a really good hand. We can do... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to play Patriot in the middle location. And the reason for that is because if he is playing a rogue, he has a 50-50 chance to steal the Patriot. Whereas if I play Patriot in the Crochet, he will 100% steal this with the rogue. But now that we have the Quinjet, Quinjet is also an ongoing, so it makes it a 50-50 if he's playing rogue to copy the Patriot. So here we have... I could play my Super-Skrull. Yeah, I think we play Super-Skrull, and then maybe we play Cosmo here to tech against a rogue. Okay, so he does also play a Super-Skrull. Now, he has priority, though. He has priority, so... Do I want to play Blue Marvel? It's either Blue Marvel or Abomination. I think we go Blue Marvel, and then we finish off with Ultron in the middle. Oh, Sarah. Maybe it's a... actually a Surfer, Patriot Surfer deck. That kind of changes things a little bit. What we can do... Yeah, maybe we still go Ultron, because what I was going to say is we could do Mystique, copy Blue Marvel, play Abomination here. But it's probably still best to play the Ultron anyways. Oh, he does run an Enchantress. He runs an Enchantress and a Super-Skrull. This is a very weird deck. I guess he just really, like, teched against the mirror matchup. Got the lockjaw from the hub. Do we still win, though? We barely win on the left. A very, yeah, really weird deck. It was like a Patriot deck, but also running Sarah, Enchantress, and Super-Skrull. Kind of weird, but we barely got the win there. Ooh, and now here we have an excellent hand. Since we have a good curve with Misty Knight on 1, Shocker on 2, Patriot on 3, I'm going to go ahead and just play the Misty Knight. Let's go ahead and play her into one of the unrevealed locations. I don't think it matters too much. And we are going against a Thanos player. Savage Land. Savage Land is not bad, since technically the Raptors can get buffed by Patriot, but it does clog up this location a little bit. So let's play Shocker onto the right location here. Maria Hill, okay. This might be a Thanos Zoo type of deck then. Daily Bugle will give us a little bit more information. A Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, okay. So let's do Patriot. Do we want to play Patriot? Let's play it in the left. Just in the off chance he has an Enchantress. If he wants to Enchantress my Patriot, it will also turn off the Soulstone ability. So that's why I'm going to play Patriot in the left. Killmonger that's a very early Killmonger. That basically means our Ultron is safe now. And our Debris is also safe. So I'm going to snap on that. I'm going to snap because that was a very, very early Killmonger. I think we're just going to go ahead and play Debris. Yeah, let's play her here. And our opponent probably realized he just made a mistake. So he retreats. And we get an easy win here. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Try this deck out, especially with the featured location right now. This deck is really, really good. One card I was kind of thinking about after I played those matches was maybe Rogue. You maybe could tech in Rogue. But the thing is, I feel like Rogue and Super-Skrull in the same deck is a little overkill. And if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going to pick Super-Skrull right now. You could maybe try a Patriot Surfer version though, right? And Rogue is a 3 cost, so she would slot in nicely in a Patriot Surfer style deck. But I think this is probably the best version of Patriot at the current moment. So try it out, give the deck a try. Let me know how it goes for you. Let me know if it helps you rank up at all. I hope it helps you. Thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around to the end of the video, the secret word for this one is going to be Ultron. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, type in Ultron in the comments. I know you watched to the end and that you're a real one for that, and I appreciate you so very much. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Later.